Okay, so I generate a simple alert message over here. Okay, it is just an alert message. So whenever I refresh the page, okay, you can see that alert message is coming over here. Hello and welcome to AppTech. So this is just an alert message. We can generate it to our JavaScript code. Similarly, we have console.warn to generate warning. Okay, it's a warning sign here. Sorry. It's a console.warn, so I can see the warning in the console like this warning sign here. Okay, and it's a yellow message indicated that it is a warning. Okay, and when we want to generate an error in the console, we use console.warn. Okay, it's a built-in function that we use to generate any of the warning. For example, warning here, you will see a warning in your console like this. Okay, see, a warning is coming over here, and these two have different colors. Okay, the yellow color is indicated that it is a warning in actual, and the red color is indicating that it is a warning. It's an error. Okay, let me remove this warning. It's an error actually. Red color will always indicating the error. Sorry. Okay. So let me comment this. If we want to comment anything in the JavaScript, we can use the control and forward slash. Okay, control and forward slash is used to comment anything, and comment will not execute. Okay. Okay. Next, in the today's class, we will discuss about the objects and the arrays. Okay. In the last class, we have discussed some of the primitive data types. Okay, which were variable. Okay. Then not a variable. Variable is actually basically a container. We have discussed different of the data types like integer data types, string data types, boolean data types. Okay, so those were the data types that we have discussed in the previous class. In today's class, we will discuss about some of the reference data types. Okay, and reference means that we have objects and arrays. Okay, so in today's class, we will discuss about the arrays and the objects. If I talk about arrays, first of all, I will store the array in some of the containers. So I will use variable for that, so I can access it later on. Okay, you can give any of the name to this array. Okay, I usually named it as array, and because of that, some students misunderstood that later on they use this array to indicate something, and sometimes they use like this array and this is actually a wrong syntax. You cannot use that. Okay, array, the name of this thing is array. Like we do say, or we say that it is an array whenever we use these braces. Okay, it means that we are basically giving an array. Okay, or we are taking an array basically. So array, you can assign any of the name to this array. For example, I can say a. It means that a is actually an array. Okay, so you can give any of the name to this array, and I can store different data types in the same array. For example, I can use 1 2. It is a number data type. I can use a string data type over here, like I can give a name here. I can use boolean data type over here. So you have seen that I contained different data types in the same array, or I have taken different data types in the same array. Now when I console this array, okay, you have seen that the first of all you have seen here a number 4, which means that it is actually the length of the array. Okay, so the length of the array is 4. It means that four numbers are in the array, like 1 2 3 and 4. There are four elements in the array that I have used. And then you have seen the complete array. When I open this or expand this, you will see that upon one you have a zero index. Okay, this two contains one index, alishpa contains two index, and this boolean value 2 contains three index. Like your index number will always start from 0, and in case of array, okay, you always or you must have index number, okay. So the main difference between arrays and objects is that array do have index number while objects do not have index number, okay. So if I say that this is an array, it means that it will always take index number. So in case of array, if I want to get this thing, okay, this alishba, what can I do over here? Like according to your mind, what can I do here to get this specifically this alishba? G. Can anyone answer this question? Okay, let me answer this. When I expand this array, you will see that this alishba is coming upon which index number? G. 2. It means that I will use this index number 2 to get this. So I will write here index number as 2. Then I will got only this name Alishba, okay. So this is how we're gonna get all of the values inside the array, okay, through index number, because index number is very important in cases of array, okay. When I assign an object over here, like for example, so object will always have these braces, okay, curly braces, while square brackets were used in the array, and objects always have curly brackets. So I can store more things in the object. For example, name. I can store here ID, for example, name, and then class. Okay. So this is an object. This is just an object where I store my ID, my name, and my class. Okay. So when I console this object, you have seen that this object is coming over here, but when I expand this, you will see that there is no index number for this object. It means that in case of objects we do not have any index number, while in case of array we do have index number. So how can I access these values? Like if I want to access this name, if I want to access this class or ID, how can I access this? I will simply use dot to to access all of these things. For example, if I use object, it means that this complete object is inside this obj variable, okay. Then obj dot, what can I use? If I want to get id, I will use object dot id. You will get the id over here. And if I want to get the name, I will use the object dot name for that. Okay, you have seen that I have got the name, and then class for the class. So this is how I'm gonna access all of the values through array and through objects, okay. In cases of arrays we have index number, while in cases of objects we do not have index number, okay. And then we have, this is just a simple array and a simple object. Then we also have multi-dimensional arrays, okay. Multi-dimensional arrays means that array inside array, okay. Then we also have like same like multi-dimensional objects, okay. Object inside object. Now if I want to assign the multi-dimensional array, how can I assign the multi-dimensional array? Okay, I take an array like this, okay. Inside this array I have multiple arrays like this: one array, two array, three array, okay. Now in this array, for example, I have an id, name of the employee, for example, and let's say salary. Okay, I will not use this comma for that because it will separate this, okay. Similarly, the id, the name of the employee, and the salary. Similarly, we have next number, or you can use here scale, for example the scale of the employee, whether it is on like 17 scale, 18 scale, whatever. Like for example, this on 17 scale, it is on 15 scale, it is on 16 scale. Okay, so we have different scales of the employees. For example, I can say employee ABC, it has 1 lakh salary. Okay, so here we have a multi-dimensional array. When I console this array, what will happen? See, the length of the array is 3 and it contains 3 arrays like this, and each one has the length 3, 3, 3, and 3. And when I expand this, you have seen that in the 0 index, this one is the array that I have got. In the 1 index, I have this array, and in the 2 index, I have this array. For example, if I want to get this one, this 50,000, what can I do? First of all, I can do array. In case of multidimensional arrays, we have rows and we have columns. Okay, we will first of all take the row, like it is on 0 index, it is on 1 index, it means that I will use here 1 index. Okay, and you have also seen here that it is this one is, this array is on 1 index. In case of, like in case of these columns 1, 2, and 3, we also have indexes for these. So like it is on 0 index, it is on 1 index, and it is on 2 index. So what I have seen here, it is on 2 index, this 50,000 value is on 2 index, so I can write here 2, and when I write 2, I will get this value which is 50,000. See. Okay, so what index number can I use if I want to get this thing? For example, this ABC, what can I do? What index number can I use to get this ABC? G Ahmed, you can also answer these questions. Okay, जी 16 लिखेंगे? नहीं, मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि मुझे इस एबीसी को गेट करना है, तो मैं क्या करूंगी? मुझे सबसे पहले बताएं कि ये एबीसी कौन सी रो पे है? थर्ड रो पे है। बट इन केस ऑफ लाइक एरे, हम 1 2 3 तो नहीं लिखते ना? नहीं, ये फर्स्ट जो एरे है, ये इंडेक्स नंबर किस पे पड़ी हुई है? ये किस इंडेक्स नंबर पे एरे? क्लास, इंडेक्स नंबर स्टार्ट कहाँ से होता है जी? तो ये कौन से इंडेक्स नंबर पे पड़ी हुई है? ये कौन से पे पड़ी है? ये किस पे पड़ी है? तो मुझे ये एबीसी गेट करना है, तो मैं सबसे पहले ये रो गेट करूंगी। रो किस पे पड़ी है? तो मैं यहाँ क्या दूंगी? अब मुझे बताएं कि मुझे ये इंडेक्स नंबर गेट करना है। ठीक है, तो ये इंडेक्स नंबर किस पे पड़ा हुआ है? कॉलम पे, यानी कि फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड कॉलम के केसेस है ना। अब रोज खत्म होगी, तो ये फर्स्ट वाली जो फर्स्ट कॉलम है, किस इंडेक्स पे पड़ा हुआ है? हाँ, और ये किस पे पड़ा हुआ है? तो मैं क्या दूंगी? 1। समझ आ रही है जी? अहमद, कैन यू आंसर माय क्वेश्चंस? कैन यू हेयर मी? How to do in the second? This 2 means that it is on this third row is on the second index. Okay, like on the 2 index. So this one is on 0 index, this one was on 1 index, and is on 2 index. So it means that this row is on 2 index number. And similarly, for in case of column, we have index 1, because index number will always start from 0. So this first column has index number 0, and the second one has index number 1. So this is how our multi-dimensional array works. Okay, आप लोगों को भी समझ आ रही है? ओके, दैट्स ग्रेट। अच्छा, ऑब्जेक्ट जो है, ऑब्जेक्ट के केसेस में क्या होता है? इन केस ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट, we can assign another object inside it. For example, first of all, I will name the array, name the object, sorry, ABC, I'll place colon, then I'll use these curly brackets, okay? And inside it, I can assign anything. For example, name. A name could be anything, okay? A class, or maybe anything like you can write subject here, like data science, for example. You can remove this name, okay? Let me save this. Okay. So I've seen that I have another object inside this object, okay, variable object. So how can I access this subject if I want to access this? First of all, I will use obj, which is your object. Then I will use dot what? The name of this object, which is ABC. And then if I want to access specifically subject inside it, I will use dot subject. Understood? Okay. You have seen the data science is coming over here, okay? So this is how our multi-dimensional arrays, our arrays works, our objects work, and object inside object works, okay? So what if I assign multiple like multiple objects inside an array? For example, let me assign an array here. This is an array, and we have different objects inside this array, like object 1. This one is object 2, similarly object 3. Now we have different objects here, and let me console this. And okay, this one has ID 1, this one has ID 2, and this object has ID 3. And let me change the names, okay. Hmm, and GHI. सेटिंग दूसरी बारी नेम नेम चेंज कर दी जाएंगे। बेशक मर्जी है आपकी। इट इज योर चॉइस कि आप उसका नेम चेंज करना चाहते हैं या नहीं करना चाहते, ठीक है। जाहिर सी बात है, हर टाइम जब हम ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट करते हैं या एरेज के अंदर ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट करते हैं, तो हर बार क्या होता है कि डिफरेंट आईडीज होती हैं और डिफरेंट बंदे के डिफरेंट नेम्स होते हैं। लाइक सेम नेम तो नहीं होगा किसी बंदे का, उसका सेम नेम नहीं होगा, उसकी सेम ईमेल नहीं होगी, वो सेम क्लास से बिलोंग नहीं कर रहा होगा। किसी भी स्पेसिफिकेशन के केसेस में वी हैव डिफरेंट स्पेसिफिकेशंस, ओके। क्लास के केसेस में हमने लेट से दे दिया ये 10, ये 11 दे देते हैं और इसको 12 दे देते हैं। Okay. Now, my question is that I told you before that an object contains no index number, while an array contains index number. Like in case of array, we have index number, while in case of objects, we do not have any index number. Now, here I feed or I put the objects, like multiple objects inside the array, a single array, okay? So when I console this, what will happen? Will it take index number or not? G. Okay. Yes. Let me check. Okay. Unexpected token. Where? Okay. After data science. Sorry. I can use here comma. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, you are right. In cases of array, okay, we always have index number, okay. So I assign first of all an array over here. So in case of array, we do have index number, whether we have objects inside it or anything inside it, okay. So in case of arrays, we have object number. So the length of the array is 3. It means that it is taking this complete object on index number 0, this on index number 1, and it is on index number 2. So when I expand this, you will see that this object is coming on 0 index, on 1 index, on index. But in case of objects who do not have index number, so when I expand this one, you will see that no index number is coming inside these values. Okay, so similarly when I expand this, no index number is coming in the object. So if I want to access this jkl, what can I do over here? You will tell me about it. G. Okay, first of all, is this jkl? Okay, where is this coming? Okay, good. On second, so I will use here the index number, like on second index. Okay, and then no. First of all, let me check this array two has taken what. This array two is taking this complete object. Okay, and when I drop down it, is there any index number over here? So what will I do? In cases of objects, we will use no. We will use what? What to access the values? Over here, in case of object, what we have used? G. No. How can I access this subject? How can I get this value? I will first use the name of the object, then I will use dot to access the value. Okay, dot this, and then if I want to use this, so in case of objects, what we are using? कम ऑन क्लास क्या हो गया, आप लोगों को समझ नहीं आ रही? हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे डॉट के थ्रू एक्सेस किया ऑब्जेक्ट को, ठीक है? तो हम बार बार डॉट दे रहे हैं तो हमारे पास एक्सेस हो रहा है, जबकि एरे के केसेस में हम बार बार इंडेक्स नंबर दे रहे हैं। तो अगर मुझे यहाँ पर वैल्यू को एक्सेस करना है तो एरे के अंदर यहाँ पर तो इंडेक्स नंबर थे, ठीक है, लेकिन अब अगर मुझे इस इंडेक्स नंबर के अंदर से मजीद कोई वैल्यू लेनी है तो वो वहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट आ रहा है, ऑब्जेक्ट में यहाँ पर कोई इंडेक्स नंबर नहीं है। ये देखें, अगर ये नेम है, नेम के पीछे कोई इंडेक्स नंबर नहीं है कि मैं गेट करूँ, तो मैं सिंपल क्या यूज करूंगी यहाँ पे? डॉट। क्या? डॉट व्हाट? नहीं, ऑब्जेक्ट का नेम मैं ऑलरेडी दे चुकी हूँ, वेरिएबल का नेम मैं ऑलरेडी दे चुकी हूँ, एरे ए डबल आर। ओके, मैं ऑलरेडी वो दे चुकी हूँ और उसके अंदर मैंने ये भी कह दिया कि गेट कर लो। अब मैं सिंपल डॉट लिखूंगी नेम। कंफ्यूज होने की जरूरत नहीं है। मैंने आपको पहले भी ये चीज समझाई है कि ये सिर्फ वेरिएबल होता है, वेरिएबल को सिर्फ हम गेट करते हैं। अगर मुझे पूरी की पूरी चीज चाहिए अंदर से, तो जाहिर सी बात है मैं उसको किसी नेम से पहले लूंगी, पहले ये चीज मैं गेट करूंगी सारी, तो मैं उसमें कुछ परफॉर्म करूंगी ना। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो मैं उसका क्या लूंगी? नेम लूंगी, ठीक है। फर्स्ट आई विल टेक दी name of the array, and then just I have taken this complete array, so then I will use the index number to specifically go on to the object which we want. Okay, and then we will use the dot to access the specifically id, name, class, or whatever inside that object has. Okay, so this is how we're gonna get the basically we have, this is how we have objects, we have arrays, and then we have other things like that. Okay, जी डॉट क्लास लिखेंगे अगर हमें क्लास को गेट करना है। समझ आ रही है? ओके, okay, we have then objects, arrays, and all these things. Okay, so these are basically your reference data types. Okay, reference means your objects. Then we will discuss slightly about the functions. Okay, what are functions and how they works? Okay, first of all, we have, if I want to assign a function. Okay, function means dry means do not repeat yourself. Okay, if we don't want to repeat ourselves again and again, and if we don't want to repeat the same thing, we will use function for that purpose. Okay, and functions contains a major role in case of javascript. Okay, we made a lot of functions in the javascript, or we do made functions for some of the things. Okay, so we will use the name of the function, which is like function, which is a keyword, and then we will assign the name of the function. For example, I am adding the numbers, okay, then I will use some addition, any name I can assign it. Okay, according to my need, my requirement. Okay, I can give any of the name, so I will write here sum. Okay, you can write here anything. You can give a name of this function, any name you can assign it. Okay, so first I will write the function, then I'll give the name of the function. Okay, inside this function we have let's say two variables. Okay, a contains a value as 10, this container has a value 10, and this container has a value 20. Now I have two containers. One contains 10, contains a number as 10, and the other contains a number 20. If I want to sum up these, I will take another container where I am taking their sum. Okay, it will take the 10 and plus then 20. Okay, and 20 plus 1 is 30. Now C contains 30, and if I want to console this, I will use C. Okay, inside the console I will print this C to check what is coming, whether 30 is coming or not. Okay, you have seen that no 30 is coming in the inside the console. Why? What's the reason behind it? Because I have made this function named as sum, but I have not called this function to execute. Okay, so whenever we made functions in the JavaScript, we must have to call those functions. Okay, to make them execute. So we declare this function over here. This is function declaration. Okay, I declare this function over here. So this one is the scope is the function. Okay, function declaration. Okay, I declare this function over here. And when I call this function, I'm calling up this function. So what can I do? I simply give the name of this function and these round brackets. This is just a function calling. Okay, see, 30 is coming over here. We have seen that this 30 is coming here. Okay, because I call this function here. So this is how we declare the functions, and this is how we call them. Then we have two types of function. Okay, we have parameterized functions, and then we have unparameterized functions. Okay, what are parameterized functions and unparameterized functions? Parameterized functions means that they contain some parameters inside this function. You have seen that I declare these values over here. I can also do this. Okay, I can do here A, B, C. I used some parameters here, which is A, B, and C. Okay, now I am printing this C. Will it print the 30, 40, or anything according to your knowledge or your sense? Will it print something? How can it print something? Is it taking this? Is it taking some values? No. So how can it print it? As we know that this thing is, you know, printing nothing. Well, I can give here C. Okay, variable C equals to A plus B. Okay. Okay. Now you have seen that over here I give two of the parameters. One is A, the second one is B. And inside it I take a container where I am adding these two values. Okay, or two variables. I am adding their values. Okay. So what is going to happen? This will take nothing, or this will print nothing. Okay, because when I save this, and in the output when I refresh this, see, you have seen that NaN is coming. NaN means not a number. Okay, why? What's the reason behind it? That I, in case of calling the function, when we use parameterized function, we assign the values from here when we were calling the function. So I will give the value over here like 10 comma, this B has 20. Okay, when I save this, what will happen? Okay, first of all, this 10 value will assign to this A. Okay, and this 20 value will be given to this B. It means that A is taking this value and B is taking this value. And when we go inside the function, okay, we will see that this C has A and B, okay, and this A and B has some values which were coming from here, okay. So this A and B has 10 plus 20, so it will print now 30 C. And this is how parameterized functions work, okay. We'll take some parameters inside this. Okay, when you will change these values, like I give here 30 and 20, you will see that 50 is coming from over here, okay. So this is how we have functions, and this is how gonna functions gonna work, okay. We will later on discuss about the arrow functions, okay, and we also discuss about the on click event listener, okay, which is you will get the class directly and perform some actions onto it, okay. So this is how your arrays, your objects, and your functions would work. So I have some tasks regarding it, okay. I will assign you and you have to do those tasks in today class, okay. So okay, I have some assignment related these arrays, objects, and functions, okay, and especially according to the especially for functions, okay. So let me share this with you.